So today is the day that was supposed to have been my wedding day. And so let's talk about it, right? I think it was going to be as hard as it was earlier today. I'm okay now. But today was really full of tears, sporadically throughout the day. Um, and I'm talking about it because let's bring, some light to what grief looks like. We only put grief when with losing people, like to death. But we don't ever talk about grief when it comes to losing a relationship, losing a job, retiring from a lifelong career that you've had, moving from one state to another and having to start over, hitting rock bottom and having to build yourself back up again. That is all a part of grief. And we don't acknowledge those other parts. We acknowledge the funeral, we acknowledge the bereavement, but we don't acknowledge the emptiness that happens when other losses take place in life. For me, it wasn't just the relationship, it was becoming an empty nester overnight. My son went to visit his father for a summer break and never came home because they decided that he wanted to live there because he needed his dad at 16 years old, and I agreed. So I wasn't going to say no. And then having a hysterectomy and then grieving, removing the organ that's been with me since I was born, and that, most of us women associate with being a woman, saying goodbye to my uterus. That's a form of grief. And so today was grieving the wedding that didn't happen, and a lot of people may not understand. And honestly, I don't do this to make anybody understand me and what it is that I'm grieving. I do this because I know that I'm not alone, but there's someone else that feels like they are. And I want to bring a voice to that person to say, you're not by yourself. Men are grieving losses too. Men are grieving breakups too. Men are grieving having to start over or losing jobs. It's not just us women. But when it comes to the uterus thing, that's only us women. We experience that. But I want to bring light to the other areas of grief that nobody seems to talk about, but that we all deal with in some way, shape, or form. Many people might look at me talking about my wedding day that didn't happen like it's cringe, or why am I doing this, or girl, that's just too much TMI. And that's okay. You don't have to watch this. The real thing. It's like a lot of us expect people to experience trauma, to experience hurt and pain, and we expect people to move forward like robots, and that is so unhealthy. Just because you don't deal with your pain and you have a problem with feeling doesn't mean that everybody else needs to take the advice that you give yourself. Because at the end of the day, it comes out anyway, in some way, shape, or form. Whether you project onto other people how you think they should handle something because you think not dealing with it is working for you, or whether it's one day you just break down and you're crying and you can't understand why, because that would be why, because you didn't handle it when it happened, or whether it's you have just a crash out randomly about something that has nothing to do with why you're really crashing out, but that was the cherry on the cake for you. It comes out in some way, shape, or form. And so for me, doing this on a public platform brings a voice to it, brings feelings to it, makes it real, because we don't talk about it all the time. Today was not the best of days for me. I spent the day, random moments of tears, convincing myself that like it's okay, it's okay to cry, like it's okay to feel this, it's okay, like be in the moment, like you don't have to. I made myself remember that it's okay to not wipe my tears right away. It's okay to ugly cry it out. It's okay to feel in the moment. Like, damn. Today was the day my last name was supposed to change, and it remained the same. Don't act like y'all would have been okay with that, because some of you would not have been, you know, telling me, oh, he didn't deserve you. That doesn't make me feel any better. You know, saying, oh, you know, it's his loss. That doesn't make it feel any better. Even when people lose jobs, oh, well, that means God has something better for you. That doesn't make them feel better in the moment. When somebody retires from their job, that tell them, well, now you get to do bigger and better things. That doesn't make them feel good in the moment, because now what's happening in their minds is that they're rationalizing their finances, because for 30, 40 years they've had security and financial stability. And now, even though they might have a nest egg set aside and, you know, IRAs and 401ks that, you know, have built retirement, they might be okay. At the same time, they're used to doing something every day the same way at the same time. They had a routine that has now been interrupted. You have to normalize allowing people to feel what they're feeling without you interjecting what you would do if it were you, because it's not you. It's not you. And you can say, thank God it's not me, all you want to, but if you've never been there, you will never understand the level of grief that they might be feeling for now having a different routine. Now, for the first few months, you know, of course, somebody's retired, they're gonna catch up on some sleep or just enjoy being at home. But listen, after a while, they're gonna get bored, because they're used to doing the same thing every single day at the same time, the same way. Somebody who was planning a wedding, or who was in a relationship and who thought they were gonna be, you know, who thought they met their forever person, just to find out that it's not gonna be forever. It just hits different, right? We have to normalize allowing people to grieve how they need to. And we have to learn how to be supportive in the way that they need for us to be supportive, not how we think we need to show up for them. It's not about us. It's about what they need in that moment. Grief looks different for everybody. Healing looks different for everyone. And that's okay. And we have to normalize it being different for everybody. How they are handling it might not be how you would handle it. How I'm handling it might not be how you would handle it. And that's okay, because I'm not you and you're not me. Being supportive of the people that we say we love, our friends, our loved ones, because loved ones aren't always your family. And for those you call family, let's normalize staying in our lane when those we love are hurting, are grieving, whatever it is that they're grieving. It is not our place to tell them how they should do it, how they should handle it, and what you would do if it were you. You have to normalize being okay with feeling, because for some reason this generation, or this whatever, nowadays, we have hardened our hearts so much. We have gotten to a place where feelings are irrelevant and keeping it moving is the thing to do, and that is so unhealthy. So I say to you, and I encourage you to allow yourself to feel, to cry it out, to grieve for however long you need to. There's no time limit on it either. One day you'll wake up and you'll just be over it. But until then, my prayer for you is that you allow yourself the grace that you give others, that you give yourself the time that you need to feel and to heal. I'm Aisha K, and this is The Audacity. Till next time.